Alright, so the winner for the fan art contest was announced quite some time ago, but we've finally got it here on the global version. Goddamn, this has got to be by far one of the best skins we've had, especially for BRUNHILD. There is nothing really else here that compares to this whatsoever. I mean, I'm sure a couple people might like this one. This is one of her OG UR skins, and even the wedding one is half decent as well. But today we're going to be trying her out in the deer raid. I can pretty much the deer or the bird, either one of them I do need to grind quite a bit. The bird at this point has the double wind source event going on at the moment, so I'd highly recommend grinding that, but the deer as well, I am just a couple of those yellow cubes away from getting my Tamio Holy Relic, so we'll focus on that for this video. Jumping over to the Holy Relic, unfortunately I don't have the Holy Relic. It would be super good to have it for this kind of content. The hero can only have one debuff on them at a time, increases the hero's attack by 20% when debuffed. Really strong. Not the greatest thing for PvP, but that's alright. This BRUNHILD is pretty much never used in PvP, but jumping over to the equipment here, we are rocking the attack crit set, and her ultimate is of course 6/6. Absolutely 6/6, there we go. So this is the team we're going to be using today for the deer. Get a quick overview of the gear. It's don't have to go into every single one, and we're of course using the Demonic Beast battle sets. So kind of going to be going throughout this, re-explaining some of the flaws for any of you guys who maybe still need help with the deer. I feel like it's been out for quite some time, and majority of the people that are up to this kind of difficulty of content have a pretty good grasp on how it's done. Also, absolutely love the cutout there. I believe the person who made this skin is Roseanne on Twitter. If I can remember, I'll try and leave a link in the description, but huge congrats on finally having it come to the game. It's been on JP. I don't know why they always do this kind of stuff. They did it with the previous fan art contest. I believe we got 3 skins last time, which, I mean, I'm definitely happy with the one we've gotten, but a little shame we didn't get the 3 or even just more than 1. It's, once again, really happy with this one, but what can you do? This first floor of the deer should be pretty easy. I feel like the first 2 are pretty easy, especially since they actually patched the second floor phase 4, I believe it is, where the revive passive would come into play. That thing just, you instantly had to reset runs. There was no point even trying to go ahead and do it. Let's go 2, and we will finish off with that. Why not? But yeah, not only did they remove the revive one, they added in another passive, which is probably the best passive to get to that floor. Hopefully when we get to it, I can kind of showcase that off a bit. But this first floor, I believe you only get 1 passive from this one, and it's the same one every time, so you don't have to worry a crazy amount on resetting it. But when it comes to this team, you're pretty much forced to use Jormungandr for this content. I'm super excited for Jormungandr to eventually get a Holy Relic. I doubt it'll make this a whole lot easier, because the amount of age she already puts on the content is insane. As long as you're using her, you can use a full demon team and get away with that. And I know that's just saying like, what? A full demon team? That's really good. No, I mean like old school demons and get away with it. She is that impressive. Let's go for... I definitely want some of your cards. Let's get the Motor and Escanor, why not? Get the ultimate there. At least hold on to one of the green cards. I'm a real big fan of just chucking out, oh my, almost 1,000,000 damage from Escanor. I'm super big on just chucking out green cards. Obviously we have 2 green characters, but knowing my luck, we'll just get super unlucky, and then it'll be the one time where I have a full hand of red and blue cards. Let's see, we'll go green, blue, red, and we'll chuck out another green. It still gets to the point where I have to say that out loud because I cannot remember it any other way. I still full-heartedly believe that that whole kind of color cycle effect for the deer was a massive miss. Maybe on at least one of the floors, I understand it being there as a gimmick, but every single one, it gets to the point where it's so RNG dependent, there's not much you can do. Some nice crits from BRUNHILD here. She is so good at this content, and pretty much any PvE content where you can have 4 people in the field, she is going to be very strong. The Power Strike single target, and any of your bosses that have crazy amounts of ult gauge, this effect here, the Detonate single target card, will also be very powerful. With the amount of ultimates here as well, we should easily be able to finish off on this final floor. We'll just chuck these out and we'll get onto it, but not an awful lot to say, honestly, about this first one. As long as you're surviving through the phases, you should be pretty fine. Like, Escanor can be substituted for Kuslak, other blue characters. I mean, if there's any blue character with a double single target, they can definitely be used. Pretty much any character with double attack cards, double single targets being preferred, you should be fine using something like that. Chucking out the BRUNHILD one first. We were only on full HP, I didn't really have to, but seeing the cutout again is real nice, and Escanor should finish that off. Although I think Man has fallen off so goddamn much when it comes to PvP, he is still a PvE god. The death effect, we really need more units to come in. Not a crazy amount of units with the death effect, because I feel like that could ruin it, but at least 1 or 2 more. It'll get to the point where, what, 5 or 6 year comes around, and we end up getting an AoE death effect for an ultimate for some unit, and it's... Who knows, will Grand Cross last how long? I honestly think Grand Cross has quite a few extra years in it. They've been on a fairly good track of updates and whatnot as of recent. The most recent one for JP, they got a blue base Meliodas, and I mean, once again, they've been on a pretty good job of making units that are good in some form of content, or at least interesting to play around with, a little bit fun in PvP, but I see absolutely nothing out of that Meliodas. Why do stuff like that? It's one of those discount gem banners where you spend the 30 and then you get the discounted multi for 1. If it wasn't for the fact that stamina pots, you can turn R-coins into stamina pots in this game, I just wouldn't recommend it. None of the units in the banner really have any form of value, so it's heartbreaking when they do stuff like that. You could just give us the... you could just say that it's cause we just finished 3rd year and no one's going to have gems, so they don't want to drop another really good unit, but even then, just... I don't know, man. Don't give us a unit at that point, or people are going to miss out if you want to go that hard on Liz. Not every unit is needed in the game, that's for sure. Green, blue, red, and green. You're gonna have a whole lot of pauses during this video of me trying to do that. I mean, I know some people are gonna think negatively on me saying you don't need every unit, but dude, look at half the cast. There's so much goddamn fodder. You could really narrow it down to like 10-15 units and just make your bucks out of those. Kind of those main priority units that you want to get to level 100 first. Do that same situation, and they're the only units you really need. Got the damage reduction. Check out that extra BRUNHILD card. I really wish the Holy Relic would suit the BRUNHILD just a little bit more, but in saying that, it suits the wedding skins so well that I'm fine with that. Getting through the damage reduction phase there. We can see that Power Strike card really go off. Double crit as well. But yeah, we still don't have a Holy Relic yet for the Skadi. I had such high hopes for this team when it comes to this content, because at one point the only Holy Relic we had for the team was Escanor, and that left us with 3 units, all pretty much mainly being good in this content or PvE content in general. Although BRUNHILD is super good, I was hoping it would be just a little bit better. It definitely could be, I could see it being stronger, but we'll go for the merger. They get both the ultimates. Yeah, still, we'll see what Skadi's is, and we will see what the Jormungandr's is. I know when we'll get those as well. Demon's just around the corner as well. I do believe the next update for the GP version, or if not the next update, the update after that, will be a Ragnarok update, and we'll, fingers crossed, get the... Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Ouch. Here we go, and straight back into phase 2. What I was going to say was... Actually, I might go ahead and... What do we want to... If I go with green, I can at least get the BRUNHILD attack in as soon as we want to. Yeah, so with the new Demonic Beast battle coming out, really excited to get all the Demon Holy Relics. I highly doubt we'll get the Trader Meliodas Holy Relic until he'll pretty much be the final Holy Relic, I can imagine. Characters like that and Chad King, they really don't need any more power at this point, and the longer they delay it, the better it's going to be and the more revived they're going to be. That's why I was so sad when they gave this man a Holy Relic right... I think it was in the first lot, or it might have been the second lot. Yeah, I think Barn was the only kind of festival character that got a Holy Relic right off the bat, but the longer you delay it, the better they're going to be. It's always unfortunate because you miss out on your Holy Relic being good, you miss out on your second passive. So 1, 2, that should finish off with the BRUNHILD. We'll kind of just chuck that out for the merger there. That's easily where I die the most, just completely forgetting about the deer killing you if you don't have one of your users that's frozen by, I think it's that 3rd turn. I haven't played a whole lot of deer. Very excited for the deer to become infinitely farmable as well, if we do end up getting that 3rd demonic beast. Keen to see if I'll be able to beat the 3rd floor right as it released, because I was way off being able to do that when the bird released. Green, blue. But yeah, no. When the bird released, it took me ages to be able to beat that 3rd floor, and I pretty much stuck doing the 1st floor for majority of the first month or 2, and eventually, look, now the 3rd floor is cake, and ended up doing that for 10 hours straight, and keen to see. I reckon I'll do the deer for 10 hours as well. If they're going to keep doing these double events where we get like the double wind source and the double one for the deer as well, I might end up waiting for that to happen just to make sure, because I could have got 20 hours worth of rewards from 10 hours if I just waited an extra month, so mad disappointed when I saw that. If they say a pretty good amount of Skadi cards, I sometimes find when doing these runs, I can be very low on her cards. For no particular reason as well, just because that's my RNG being terrible. Or we can easily finish this one off as well. And then fingers crossed we don't get the ult removal passive. That's definitely got to be one of the worst ones at this point. Please give me the good one. Oh yes, perfect. The damage up is definitely one of the better ones, that's for sure. We'll go green, blue, red, and back to green, why not? Will that be able to finish the deer off here? Also, as you can see by the red gem and Jormungandr, I actually got a couple dupes of her over the past couple banners. Yeah, Escanor just tears through PvE content, and that cut in for Skadi. Oh, too good. And onto the third and final floor. Hopefully we can get pretty lucky and get this on our first try. I wouldn't even say it's more so getting super lucky to be able to finish this off first try, but more so not getting unlucky and getting completely shafted by cards or getting into that final phase. The fact that we can get the ultimates is super, super good because that allows us to get the Escanor ultimate before we get into that fourth phase, and you can chuck that out and do over like half of the HP right as you get into that phase, so that should be pretty good for us there. Unfortunately, you can't do the double ultimates because same thing as you do on the second floor, you have to do the full cycle before you can actually deal damage. If you guys play D, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so hard to kind of explain this content and make it make sense if you don't actually go ahead and do it. Oh yeah, love that for Escanor. And I wonder what it's going to be any power creep past this, because I fully believe that we're not going to get any other level caps past level 100. Maybe like 2-3 years or later down in the line, we might get 110 or 120, but even then that just seems so far-fetched to me. 100 seems like a good amount. The only reason I believe that is because it just takes so much effort to get a unit to level 100, and that's not only the level cap in the amount of demons and SSR pendants and even UR pendants you have to grind now that the demon mats, super awakening coins, it's crazy. You're forgetting about all the extra grails and stuff and all just the regular mats you need as well. All of that stuff's just gone over the radar well, under the radar, I should say, because of all the just insurmountable amounts of stuff you need to get done. Let's go green, blue, red, and green. I don't believe we should be able to get through this one pretty quickly with the level 2 Esker card. Maybe giving the Jormungandr a Holy Relic where it allows her to maintain that passive buff for a turn if you miss out on the cycle would be a very good way to do it, because you can see the second we actually get that buff, only one ultimate gauge, so we're not getting a crazy amount of value out of Detonate, but still hitting just shy of 300,000. Those kind of numbers in PvP and PvE, ridiculous. Yeah, I'm pretty close to that Escanor ultimate. Hey, you can go through these deer runs super, super quickly. As long as you're not getting the fails, you should be fine. Blue. And that should close that one out there. This third phase, however, can take super, super long. I'm very glad they did it in that way, because if you do end up getting terrible card RNG, or you end up having to use your ultimates to get through the second phase for some reason, maybe you're close to dying. Sorry, I'm still super, super sick, and it's just not going away. It's dreadful. Yeah, the amount of HP on this one is massive, so that you get that time to build up them ultimates. We'll go like this here. Not a crazy amount of damage cards in our hand. I may end up using the... I'd held on to that. We probably could have got a lot of value on this next turn. We're doing fairly well here. I still might use the Jormungandr ultimate just to finish this phase off. That way we can assure ourselves getting into the next one with that passive buff. Oh, even then we might overkill. So much for me saying that the phase is super, super tanky. I'd take that back. Jormungandr is extra 35. Okay. Don't deal too much damage. Jormungandr can die if you get if you spend too much time in this phase and then she gets single targeted a lot, it can be dreadful for her. Let's go... actually, I might go red first, that way we... Actually, yeah, no, if we go for red first, we still have the ultimate, so we can still get through the cycle on the next one, and then we'll go... we'll start off with blue instead, that way we can use the green ultimate third to finish that off, and we can go perfect. Sorry, me thinking aloud here. Yeah, we way would have messed that up if we didn't go for the ultimate third. That'll get the Jormungandr back to full HP as well, which would be very, very nice. Don't have a crazy amount of ultimates to heal, even just things that heal in the game. And that's with the passive. I don't think we got anything that was overall bad. Decrease all enemies. Oh, that one's not great. Here we go, let's go blue. Then red. Yes, red. Had myself scared then. And then we'll go for the Escanor ultimate again. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Obviously wanting to use all of your weaker cards when getting through that first one. I didn't go for that one there because I didn't want the merger. With hindsight, actually, I definitely should have gone for that instead, but you see massive damage from Escanor. And now we can actually see how many phases. Actually, is it? I think it might be under 30% that we're not allowed to get the deer. So one red attack here, and we might be good to throw out the level 2 Power Strike card from Brunhild and finish this off. Really hoping Skadi doesn't overdo it here. She doesn't have any debuffs on herself, so she's not built up a whole bunch. Let's go for this. Merge you two together. Power Strike, and the only reason I didn't go for the blue one there is because I feel like any Escanor card will be enough to get the deer low enough. Oh, actually, it's green anyways. What am I thinking? Who knows? Do I even know how to play the game? Anyways, there it is. Deer absolutely stomped on by the brand new fan art contest Brunhild. Look at how good that looks, especially with the blue background. Oh my, they fit perfectly together. Please be a bunch of yellow. Oh, wrong yellow, but that's right. That just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.